Okay, here is fan number 3 for the day going up.
I'm realizing that this has a 4-5 flywheel, so we can swap the blades.
We can have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Let's see, will this support my weight without snapping? Yes, at least for the moment.
Yeah. Good thing it belongs to somebody else. I really like American Spirits. The only thing I don't like about them is that the newer ones that have a detachable switch cap are next to impossible to replace the flywheel on. The only way to replace the flywheel is to cut all the wires, and cutting the wires and then reconnecting with wire nuts is
yes,
a bigger headache than it's worth. The older ones, which this looks to be an older one, without actually taking the switch housing off, I can't say for sure, but it does look to be an older one. The older ones don't use the molded plug, and so it's just a matter of disconnecting a couple wires. Actually, I can tell based on where the reverse switch is. If the reverse switch is in the switch cap, then we're screwed. If the reverse switch is in the housing somewhere, then it's fine. I don't see it in the switch cap, but I also don't see it in the housing somewhere. Maybe, oh, there it is. So yeah, this is a good one.
Nice.
These were, they're very similar to like a Casablanca Delta 2.
Yeah.
But they were at a lower price point. And they continued making them in America up until 2000 and something, late 2000s.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So we've got a moss canopy on there.
Yep, just because we're hanging it on a J-hook, but I wanted to be able to use a canopy of some kind. The blades are gloss oak reversing to gloss walnut. I much prefer the walnut, but they already came with the oak showing, and it wasn't worth flipping them to me. Remind me to repeat all this when I do my video, because I'll assume that I already said it and then not repeat it. Not realizing in the moment that it's a different video. That said, everybody should watch all of Andy's videos too, but of course if you're hearing me say this, then you are already watching Andy's videos.
Indeed.
I believe... Oh, screwdriver! Disappeared. I believe you also have videos of bees, trains, and heavy metal?
Yes. Not all on the same channel, but yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was all on the same channel.
Yeah, I have, by far, what gets the most attention is my train channel, High Iron of Wisconsin Productions.
That's such a professional sounding name,
yes.
No wonder.
Yeah, I came up with that about a year after I started taking train videos and started putting them up there. And the rest is history. But anyhow, back to the topic at hand. I will pause for the moment.
Hey guys, this is a FASCo American Spirit, and you know what? I forgot to look at the model number on top of it. It's a 9 something, because I remember the American Spirits being 9. I don't know what they are, 992 maybe, 995. I do remember that it is from 91, and that the current draw is 0.9, so there's a lot of 9s involved. Does the number 9 have anything significant? It's not like 6, where everything is 6, that means the devil. Do you know, Andy? 9 mean anything?
I can't say as it does.
There's biblical hermeneutics where numbers mean something, and I can't remember what 9 is in that either. It's not the original canopy. I have the original canopy and mount, but I hang in the J-hook, so I wanted to be able to couldn't use the original canopy and mount. And normally I just do without a canopy, but I thought the moss canopy looked very similar to the original canopy, so we went with it. It's got a different flywheel than I'm used to. It's either a replacement flywheel or just one that they use very briefly. It's the older version that has the reverse switch in the housing, which is good because it makes it easier to replace the flywheel. Was there anything else I said in your video, Andy, that I said I needed to remember to add in my video?
I would have to review it.
Yeah, okay, we got it. So I would consider selling or trading this, but I would also consider keeping it because I love it. Blades are high gloss oak. They reverse to high gloss walnut. I actually prefer the walnut, but it came with the oak side showing, and I wasn't going to bother to turn them around. I think that's everything. We're going to test it with the different controls and things. Where are we at right now? FASCo 4-speed control is on high, amp meter is on, so I think all it's left to do is to turn it to high, medium, low. 0.21. Only thing I don't like about these, where's my water, is that the, again, the flywheels are harder to change in the newer ones, and the blades are very heavy. So, you do see a lot of broken flywheels with them. Okay, that's low. Let's go to medium. 4.8. This one does have a 4.5 flywheel on it. I think they all did, but I'm not sure about that. There might have been some 5-blade only ones. Okay. Low, off, high. 1.85, so we're pretty close to the 0.9. A variation of these was actually made in America until like 2006, 2007, which is pretty cool. Let's do the old airflow test. Really, I think most American-made fans are going to fare about the same on the airflow test, which is that you can feel some air moving back here, like a gentle breeze, but nothing direct. I'm not getting anything different from it than I would from any other American-made fan. Okay. Medium, low, off. Let's let it spin down. Do it in reverse. Hey, Andy.
Hey.
Out of all the fans that we've worked on together and filmed together and all these various projects we've done, do you have a favorite?
Let's see. There's been a lot.
There really has.
Let's see, I'm trying to think what else I was around for.
I guess part of the reason for asking the question is I thought that if you were around for it and it was a favorite, it would be memorable, so that it wouldn't, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of good ones. Those Sidewinders.
Yeah, that was going to be what I was going to say.
Just recently. There was that big old Patton.
The one that I got from Jimmy. Ornate sideband, no vents, kind of almost looks like an Emperor. Had chain blades.
Yeah.
Those are one of the oddest fans. Like there's no explanation for them. They're very odd.
Yeah, let's see. There was that outdoor original that we had a heck of a time getting the blade angle right.
Yeah, those blade irons were mangled, and we didn't realize it right away.
Let's see. Going way back. Not favorites, but let's see. We did a couple of commercial fans at your parents' place. There was that
Encon crap.
Encon crap and the Airmaster. We just did a bunch of capacitor swaps on those.
Yeah, so both of those fans are here now. Reese asked for the Airmaster, so I may give it to him. The Encon is just awaiting a low reverse here. The Encon is awaiting a place that needs a commercial fan that I can swap for something cooler.
Sure. Let's see. We did a Hunter designer's choice.
Those are cool. You know, when I brought a bunch of collectors to the museum for the first trip, the adult collectors, I think several of them picked that out as their favorite of the vintage ceiling fans in the museum. Which is a little surprising to me, because my favorite is like the Columbia 500 and the iFan and the stuff that there's only one or two of. Those designer's choices, there are probably hundreds of them still remaining, even though there weren't too many of them sold in the first place. They're not quite as rare as a fan that only 500 were made of.
Yeah, they are classy though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I got another one on its way to me. You have a favorite of the fans that we have yanked out of places? I know most of those have been commercial.
Probably either that ring fan or those Newtone Pearl lines.
Those are my favorites too. Trying to remember all the various projects that we've done that involved the fan removal.
There's the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was your
polished aluminum
gold lining experiment. Is the fruits of that.
Yeah.
Do the old spin down here.
Yep. Trying to think of what else there was that we pulled fans out of those, and the ring fan and the Newtones. Was that it? Just the three? I feel like there's been something else.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm thinking there was something else too, but maybe I'm thinking of a 12 wings installation or the fact that the same day, I know the same day we did the ring fan was the day we swapped out my fan for the Whisper in 2000.
That was a very productive day in the world of fans.
Yes.
I was very pleased with everything that happened that day. The ring fan went better than expected. And we got the Whisper Wind looks great. Are you still love it as much as you did when we put it in?
I do, and both of my parents have finally been back to my apartment since it went in, and they both love it. Especially my mom. She's normally not somebody who cares about fans, but she was really impressed with that one.
I don't think either of my parents noticed the difference between any two fans. I think I could swap a white fan and an antique brass fan in their house, and they wouldn't notice. So. Which worked to my advantage when I lived there because I would often swap fans and they wouldn't notice. And had they noticed, they probably would have said no.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So, long spin down time on this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been going and going and going. And you say the blades are heavy?
Yes.
That might have something to do with it.
It does. They're not like outrageously heavy.
A little more momentum.
But as opposed to like Casablanca blades that are plywood, these I'm pretty sure are all MDF with just a nice veneer. And MDF is heavier than. I'm sure that's one of the reasons they're able to offer it cheaper, or were able to rather. Okay, so we're still in high. We're going to use the genuine FASCo 4-speed control. We're going to drop that to low. 0.22. I believe, if memory serves, the factory low was 0.20. Does that sound right?
To be honest, I'm not listening to the numbers.
Yeah, there's so many.
As you read them.
I find it interesting, but I don't retain them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are people that care though, because I did it after I started using the ammeter test when we were working on those capacitor swaps and things. And then I went back to not using it because, I mean, we weren't doing any troubleshooting, so why did it need to be there? And I got a lot of requests to do it on every fan, so now I do it on every fan. It is a great learning experience.
And it's interesting to know how close some of them get to their rated current. And whatnot. And of course, obviously, it's an easy way to tell right away if, visually the speeds don't look right, and then you can tell, okay, the current draw didn't change when I changed the speed, so there's got to be something not right.
Well, I'll tell you where it has been the most helpful for me is when I'm testing with different wall controls. There's two reasons that's been helpful. Is one, I can immediately know if a wall control is going to be a good fit or not based on usually even where the low speed is, and especially in like setting the low speed trim for an ideal slow speed. That's been really helpful. But the other thing is every so often with a control and a motor, and somebody who knows more about motors can explain why this is, but you hit a resonant frequency between the control and the motor. Because what the controllers are doing is they're changing the frequency. They're changing the 60 cycles a second to something different. And these capacitor-based motors, that's what the capacitor is doing in there as well for the one winding. You know, one winding is getting current directly from the power supply, and the other one is getting it through a capacitor, which is being changed by the capacitor. And depending on the control and the way the motor is wired and the capacitor value in the motor, sometimes you can hit a resonant frequency where, that's high now, we should know high, where the current draw from the motor actually skyrockets and exceeds the current draw on high. And you'll either burn out the control or the motor. Usually it'll be the capacitor in the motor that'll go first, but it's not good for anything. In my experience, the control goes first, and then the capacitor in the motor, and then if there's still a chance left for it to the windings. And so you can know right away, if you see a current draw that is higher than it should be, then you know right away not to use that control. I need to switch controls now, so whenever you're in a position to take over filming.
Take over? Okay.
Yeah, whenever you got, just like the 5, this seems like it's going to behave very similar to the 5-blade Charleston. It's starting out at 0.06. I bet you it's the same motor. But the blades are probably a little heavier on this one. Because I know the 5-blade Charleston has real. This is where the 5-blade Charleston started at 0.09.
Okay, nothing yet. Oh, very, very subtle movement. Yeah, it's moving.
0.1 now. I'll let it sit there for a minute. Okay. Yeah, it's going though. Okay. I'm going to inch this up. I'm going to go 1/8 of a turn, which takes us to 0.3. I don't normally watch my own videos, but I took a quick glance at the one that Kevin filmed, and he actually didn't do a half bad job.
Good.
He probably did better camera work than I do, because I know my camera work is terrible. I'm going to go another 1/8 of a turn, which takes us to...
Yeah, he tried that slow motion effect, which would have been cool, but I don't think it worked very well.
Well, he tried that with his. I was talking about the video he took with mine.
Okay.
I don't know if he uploaded his video that he took. I'm not getting much buzz from it. It's interesting that
Yeah, I don't
it has the same motor as the other one. Okay, going to go another... There it is. 0.62.
Whoa, buzz.
Yeah, plenty.
Sounds like a beehive.
I think one of the blades might have a loose screw, and that's resonating, making it worse.
That's probably true.
Okay, another 1/8.
Sounds like an old angry beehive there. Okay.
Yeah, well, you would know. I would not. I stay as far away from bees as possible. I'm going up to...
I've never been confronted by an angry beehive, thankfully.
My father has. Spinning down, so... I'm going to switch the controls, and then I can take my camera, and you can reposition yours.
I'll let it do its thing.
Yeah, my dad cut down a tree branch without realizing there was a hornet's nest in it. So that was
Nice.
fun for him.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
He just...
I hope he was in better condition and able to run at that point.
Yeah, I probably was in high school at the time. I just remember, you know, at one moment he's in the yard doing things, and the other moment you just see him flying past, and my dad's not a fast guy, so, you know.
Yeah, something's up.
Yeah, I can take over and you want to reposition yours.
Okay.
I have not tried it yet, but methinks maybe some of these boxes over here, you could probably get a good long distance shot from one of these things over here.
Sure.
I don't know, there's plenty of places to try.